All right, so here's my sequence. It starts off 20, 16, and 12. My ultimate question is, what is the 30th term in the sequence? What I'm really asking here, to clarify, if I list the first 30 terms, what do I get? That's really what this is about. If I go out 30 times, where do I end up? Now, before I get there, I have some questions I got to ask myself first. So, first one is, what is the common difference? It looks like 16 minus 20 is negative 4. 12 minus 16 is negative 4. So my common difference must be a negative 4. So if I were to keep doing this, I could take a calculator. I could type in 20, my initial value, put minus 4, and then hit the equal sign a bunch of times to keep creating this series.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never tried that.
It's, again, but I have to push it 30 times and not lose count. Sometimes it's better to do the algebra. So the basic formula, any term in an arithmetic sequence can be found by taking the first term plus the difference times n minus 1. And the n minus 1 is there to compensate for shifting correctly. For all intents and purposes, you just say, hey, it's n minus 1. But I know the initial term. In this one, the initial value was the first term. Term number 1 is 20. So that goes there. Guys? Addie? The common difference, we say, is negative 4. And the rest of this is stuff I just leave. So the important thing to take away is this formula now, this function, will predict where I land in the sequence based on what number I'm looking for. And with this particular sequence, because we have a common difference of 4, and we started at 20. So now if I want the 30th term, if I were to go out 30 times, what would I get? Well, I can do that by saying, well, let's look at a sub 30, which is going to be 20 minus 4, 30 minus 1. Now I just have to actually do all the chunk in here. Negative 4 times 29. And I don't have my calculator, so 29 times 4 times is 6, carry the 3, 8, 3, 116. So 20 minus 116. Calculate that right, double check my math. 3, 8, 3 is low, yeah. And that gives me negative 96.
Oh my God, you're so smart.
Hey guys. So if I were to go out 30 terms, that's where I would get. Now I could also use other numbers here instead of n. I can say, let's find the 1,000th term. Well, it's a lot easier doing it this way. I just have to take my calculator and put in the numbers and crank something out. Whereas if I were to ask you to do it by hand to predict the 1,000th term in the sequence, we'd be here a while. I mean, that just take a long time to come up with. What other questions can I address right here? Does it fit a little better?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. So we still have to get it down.
Oh, great.
Next week sometime. If you're still not sure about this, there's a few ways you can approach it that might help. One is to take this formula right there, memorize it. Just write down in your brain that this is the formula for an arithmetic sequence. If it's an arithmetic sequence, that's the formula you use. It has an initial value, which is A1, and a common difference, which is D. Everybody else in there are things I substitute in. I always need to know what n is because that's the number of the term I want.
So we understand when you throw in all the numbers.
Okay?
Yeah. But so are they gonna have that formula on the VA?
No, you have to memorize that formula.
You have to know
Yes.
that.
all we will give you for this problem is, here's the sequence, here's the number of the term I want, the 30th term, the 80th term, the 48th term. And then you have to figure out the common difference, plop it in, put in the initial value, 20, and then put in whatever number we gave you we want you to come up with, 42,
Okay.
or 100, just like we've been practicing. So on the other hand, did I get it?
Yeah.
Okay.